Delhi's worsening smog conditions limit outdoor activities, Centre's Pollution Control Board says, and orders states and local bodies to be in complete readiness for emergency measures. Amit Shah takes charge of BJP's Uttar Pradesh campaign, says that the UP victory will open the doors to 2024. October inflation rises to 4.5%, edible oil inflation at 33.5%, fuel at 14.4%. Meanwhile, industrial production index drops to 3.1%. Railways issues order to discontinue the special tag for trains and revert to pre-pandemic ticket prices with immediate effect. And from trees to traffic to economy, Chennai counts its losses. Schools remain shut for fifth day. Hello and welcome to NDTV 24/7. I'm Rohit Wellington. Let's begin with our top story. The Centre's Pollution Control Board on Friday ordered states and local bodies to be in complete readiness for emergency measures to tackle New Delhi's worsening smog conditions due to a drop in temperature and wind speeds. A thick haze of toxic smog hung over Delhi, exacerbated by a spike in the burning of crop waste in surrounding farmlands. It reduced visibility and the air quality index remained in the severe category. Now, there's some action by the centre days after the severe air pollution. The Central Pollution Control Board has said that with more rigour, authorities must continue to take actions like water on roads and more public transport. They have advised government and private offices to cut vehicle usage by 30%. People are advised to limit outdoor activities and minimize exposure. Officials have been asked to closely monitor actions and submit reports for review and submit further reports. The circular by the CPCB, that the Central Pollution Control Board, says that states must be in complete readiness for implementation of measures under the emergency category. Meher Pandey reports.
We are here with the civil defense people who actually in Delhi, you may remember, there is a campaign going on to switch off engines when the red light is on at an intersection. Of course, the people working to do this one action that has, of course, been criticized for not being enough are also exposing themselves to multiple hours of very severe, very hazardous air quality. Sir, आपका नाम?
स्वर्ण सिंह।
तो सर, आपकी यहाँ शिफ्ट, आप इंचार्ज हैं यहाँ की, कितने घंटों की शिफ्ट होती है यहाँ?
ये एक्चुअली 6 घंटे की शिफ्ट होती है और हमारे पास इस टाइम 10 वॉलंटियर जो रहते हैं। हाँ। और जो कि पूरी ड्यूटी देते हैं। जो ट्रैफिक यहाँ पर चलता है उनको अवेयर करते हैं कि भाई जब तक रेड लाइट ऑन है तब तक आप अपनी इस गाड़ी को ऑफ कर दीजिए, जिससे कि पोल्यूशन कम करने में मदद मिले।
तो आपको सर यहाँ काम करते हुए एक्सपोजर हुआ है बहुत सारी एयर पोल्यूशन को, खुद को मतलब आँख में जलन या खांसी या कुछ और इश्यूज आए?
नहीं, नो डाउट। देखिए, हम लोगों को ट्रैफिक को जो अवेयर भी कर रहे हैं, इससे नो डाउट फ़र्क तो पड़ा है और नो डाउट पोल्यूशन भी है, लेकिन हम रैंडमली अपने जो वॉलंटियर्स हैं उनको बीच में ब्रेक देते रहते हैं। उनको हाई क्वालिटी के अच्छी क्वालिटी के मास्क भी उनको प्रोवाइड करते हैं, जिससे कि उनको ज़्यादा इफेक्ट ना हो और आँखों में जलन वगैरह ना हो।
So what exactly is choking Delhi? One of the major factors is farm fires, which after so much talk would have subsided, you would imagine, but it's actually increased.
Burning the stubble is because of brutal economics. Jasveer Singh in Punjab's Moga district explains tens of thousands of these fires in Punjab, Haryana and parts of UP have contributed substantially to a thick smog for many days across North India. Jasveer Singh is a marginal farmer with 2 acres of land. Hiring agri-machines to cut the paddy stubble cuts into his meager income.
कोई सुपर सीडर है जो बीच में कर देता है, वो जो सुपर सीडर है वो अगर सब्सिडी में मिले तो 1,40,000 रुपए में मिल जाता है उसके लिए ट्रैक्टर के ऊपर भी 10 लाख रुपया लगाना पड़ता है।
Over the last 4 years, the centre has given Punjab a little over 1,000 crores and about 230 to 260 crores has been paid to farmers each year to either buy or hire machines to cut the stubble instead of burning it in time to sow the next crop. Yet the fires continue. Farmers say their costs have shot up, especially for fertilizer and diesel.
ਜਿਹੜੇ ਛੋਟੇ ਕਿਸਾਨ ਆ ਉਹ ਅਵਾਇਡ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜੇ ਉਹ ਸੰਦ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਇੱਕ ਤਾਂ ਰੈਂਟ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਮਹਿੰਗਾ ਤੇਲ ਹੋਣ ਕਰਕੇ ਉਹ ਇਹੀ ਵਜ੍ਹਾ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਅੱਗ ਲੱਗ ਰਹੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਉਹ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਸੰਦਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਪਰਹੇਜ਼ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਖਰਚਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਪਊਗਾ।
Farm economists feel subsidizing crop residue machines is not the solution but direct cash incentives.
वो जो मशीनरी बनाते हैं उनको सब्सिडी के लिए होता है, तो इसलिए क्या है कि किसान को ये सब चीज़ों में डायरेक्ट सब्सिडी देते हैं, तो इसमें भी डायरेक्ट सब्सिडी देने में क्या प्रॉब्लम, अगर किसान को वो मिल जाए तो वो लेबर लगा के अपना जो स्टबल है उसको संभाल लें और किसी और यूज़ के लिए उसको यूज़ कर लें।
Over the years, the government have been promising or issuing statements that they are doing more than enough for the farmers to stop stubble burning, but nobody has paid heed to what farmers are demanding. These farmers who say that they are forced to burn the stubble also demand that the government should put cash in their hands so that they can solve the problem of stubble burning on their own. From Moga, Mohammad Ghazali for NDTV.
In some other news, Punjab Chief Minister Charanjit Singh Channi has announced financial aid to all those arrested in the Red Fort violence case. In what some would call a rather controversial decision, the Chief Minister tweeted that reiterating my government's stand to support the ongoing farmers' protest against 3 black farm laws, we have decided to give a 2 lakh rupee compensation to 83 people arrested by Delhi police for carrying out a tractor rally in the national capital on 26th of January 2021. Shifting focus to politics and beginning with all crucial Uttar Pradesh. As we speak, Home Minister Amit Shah is in Varanasi to take charge of the BJP's campaign for the crucial 2022 state election. BJP has set a target of over 300 seats for itself. To achieve this, Mr. Shah has taken the matter in his own hands, starting with holding a big meeting in Varanasi with the entire BJP top brass. Alok Pandey has this report.
Home Minister Amit Shah taking charge of the BJP's UP campaign at the party's biggest ever meeting this election season in Varanasi, Prime Minister Modi's Lok Sabha seat. In attendance at what some called Mr. Shah's election masterclass, top Delhi leaders in charge of UP, Chief Minister Adityanath, his deputies and all 403 Vidhan Sabha in charges leading the party's charge on the ground.
This is not the first time that Amit Shah has driven the BJP's success in the politically crucial state of Uttar Pradesh.
Starting from the 2014 Lok Sabha polls, where the party won 73 out of 80 seats with allies. Shah was BJP chief when the party swept UP in 2017, winning 300 plus of 403 seats. Or 2019, when the party again won big in UP with Shah in charge.
पूरे उत्तर प्रदेश में फोकस है और ये विश्व के नाथ बाबा विश्वनाथ जी की नगरी है। देश के गृह मंत्री माननीय श्री अमित शाह जी का मार्गदर्शन होगा और 2022 में 2017 दोहराएंगे। उत्तर प्रदेश के लिए शुभ है, बहुत ही शुभ है और माननीय अमित शाह जी माने का आगमन अर्थात 300 पार सुनिश्चित।
But is Mission 300 plus too ambitious a claim? Given the farmers' protest in Western UP to wider worries about rising prices and inflation.
BJP sources say that the idea of holding this meeting in Varanasi is to make a big push in Purvanchal or Eastern UP, a region with 150 plus seats where the BJP 100 plus in 2017. The party feels that any losses from the western part of the state could be mitigated from Eastern UP.
Prime Minister Modi is also visiting Eastern UP next week to inaugurate the Lucknow-Ghazipur-Purvanchal Expressway from the Sultanpur district, one of the biggest showpiece projects of the Adityanath government. But there is worry here too. Om Prakash Rajbhar of the SBSP, a regional party with influence in most of Purvanchal, whose 2017 alliance with the BJP helped it on at least 15 to 20 eastern UP seats, is now with the SP.
कुछ लोग ऐसा कह रहे हैं कि वेस्टर्न पार्ट ऑफ द स्टेट में आपको थोड़ी हानि पहुंच सकती है किसान आंदोलन की वजह से। क्या आपको लगता है कि पूर्वांचल पे ज्यादा फोकस कर रहे हैं आप लोग, इसलिए यहाँ पे ये मीटिंग हो रही है?
पूरा उत्तर प्रदेश इस समय भारतीय जनता पार्टी के साथ है, माननीय मुख्यमंत्री योगी जी के साथ है। और किसान आंदोलन कोई किसानों का आंदोलन नहीं है, वो तो जो लोग राजनीतिक लोग हैं जिनको कोई मुद्दा नहीं मिला है, थके हुए राजनीतिक लोग हैं, उन लोगों का मुखौटा भर है।
भारतीय जनता पार्टी में अगर मुसलमान हटा दीजिए, भारत पाकिस्तान हटा दीजिए, हिंदू मुसलमान हटा दीजिए, मंदिर मस्जिद हटा दीजिए, तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी की जबान बंद हो जाती है।
Regardless, the return of Amit Shah at the helm in UP indicates how high the stakes are, as are the challenges. With Ajay Singh and camera person Vineet Kumar, this is Alok Pandey, NDTV.
So what did Amit Shah say in Varanasi? Let's take you through that. He said that booths have to be strengthened. We need every person to influence 60 people each to vote for the BJP and to aim for at least 20 votes from that circle. One cadre is to try to get votes from 3 families. And we have to highlight our successes, PM Ujjwala Yojana, PM Kisan Yojana. This is not an ordinary election. This is an election to take the country ahead and to uphold the dignity of the nation, he said, going on to say that Congress indulged in corruption and things that cause chaos and divisive politics. India will turn into an economic powerhouse, he said, if BJP gets as many years in power as the Congress. Mafia and Gunda Raj has been controlled under Yogi's government, and that the UP victory will open the doors to 2024.
Amit Shah, the Home Minister who's taken charge of the UP campaign, spoke for over an hour here in Varanasi. I have 2 gentlemen from Baghpat, one of the areas in western UP where the BJP faces a stiff challenge because of the farmers agitation. कोई 3 ऐसी बातें जो बहुत स्ट्राइकिंग रही हैं और आगे कैंपेन में आपको काम आए, ऐसी कौन सी 3 बातें?
3 बातें ये थी कि हमें सबसे पहले नीचे से जितने भी हमारे गरीब हैं, जो छोटे लोग हैं, जिनके लिए और सरकारों ने आज तक कुछ नहीं किया, हमें उन लोगों को अपने साथ लेके चलना है, उनके बीच में हमें जाना है। हमने उनके लिए क्या क्या किया उनको समझाना है।
कितना इम्पोर्टेंट है चुनाव, इसके बारे में कुछ बोला?
चुनाव के लिए हमें पहले पन्ना प्रमुख अपने तैयार करने हैं। हर पन्ने पे 60 आदमी होते हैं। 60 आदमी से हमें एक आदमी पन्ना प्रमुख बनाना है। वो रोजाना या एक हफ्ते में उनकी मीटिंग लेंगे, हमें पार्टी को अवगत कराएंगे। कोई किसी को दिक्कत है तो हम उसको संभालेंगे, उनका काम करेंगे। हमें वहाँ से तैयारी करनी है अपने चुनाव।
आप खुद जानते हैं कि किस तरह से वहाँ पे पिछले 1 साल से फार्मर्स एजिटेशन चल रहा है। लोग ऐसा कह रहे हैं कि उसकी खामी आपको होगी और पॉलिटिकल खामी होगी, वोट्स में भी आपको उसकी खामी होगी। आप इसको कैसे देखते हैं? आप जमीन के नेता हैं, आप कैसे देखते हैं बीजेपी का जो चैलेंज है? ये तो आप मानिएगा कि थोड़ा पिछले बार से ज्यादा चैलेंज होगा आपको इस बार?
कोई खामी नहीं होगी। ये जो किसान बिल है, किसानों के लिए नुकसान का नहीं है, फायदे का बिल है। और भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने 25 रुपया अभी गन्ना पर बढ़ाया है और जो बकाया है किसानों का वो भी भारतीय जनता पार्टी दिलवा रही है।
लेकिन आप ये कैसे वोटर को कैसे समझाएंगे? लोग कह रहे हैं भाई लोग बहुत गुस्सा है आपसे।
कोई गुस्सा नहीं है, हम वही क्षेत्र में रहते हैं, हमने सबको समझा दिया है और किसान वहाँ पर इतना नाराज नहीं है। जब से 25 रुपया बढ़ाया है तब से किसान खुश है।
गृह मंत्री ने इसके बारे में कुछ बोला, कोई रेफरेंस किया?
नहीं, इसके बारे में कुछ नहीं बोला। ना, इसके बारे में कुछ नहीं। हमें चुनाव कैसे लड़ना है उसके बारे में बोला है। हाँ जी,
ठीक है सर, गुड लक, थैंक यू सो मच। So there you have it. These gentlemen here say that they were told about how to fight the election and that this is one of the biggest elections that the BJP will fight in the next some time. With Ajay Singh and Vineet Verma, this is Alok Pandey, NDTV.
Right, from BJP now to the Congress, which is still dealing with the Rajasthan situation. On Friday, Sachin Pilot met with Sonia Gandhi a day after she met with Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot. The issue, Sachin Pilot has been waiting for over a year for Mr. Gehlot to accommodate his supporters in the Rajasthan cabinet, but the Chief Minister has so far held out. Will that happen and when? That's the question. Arvind Gunasekar has this report.
Sachin Pilot met Congress President Sonia Gandhi, one in a series of meetings to stem factional fight between the former Deputy Chief Minister and Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot. This is Pilot's first one-to-one meeting with Sonia Gandhi after Pilot's unsuccessful rebellion last year and lasted for 45 minutes.
जो वैकेंसीज हैं, अपॉइंटमेंट्स हैं, पॉलिटिकल कार्यकर्ता जो कांग्रेस पार्टी के हैं, और हमने देखा है जिन कार्यकर्ताओं ने 5 साल बीजेपी के शासन में धरने दिए, पदयात्राएं करी, भूख हड़ताल करी, लाठियां खाई, जेलों में गए, अपना व्यक्तिगत नुकसान कराया, उन सब लोगों को मुझे लगता है कि सही पहचान देकर, मान सम्मान देकर अगर हम आगे रखकर काम करेंगे तो अच्छे परिणाम हमारे।
On Thursday, Gehlot had met Sonia Gandhi to finalize a long-due cabinet reshuffle, in which 4 to 5 pilot loyalists are expected to be accommodated. In return, Pilot would get a bigger role in the party at the national level.
Sources say Sachin Pilot will be made as the General Secretary of the party now and in charge of a poll-going state, and the Congress leadership has assured him of a bigger role in Rajasthan in 2023.
Later, Sonia Gandhi met Chhattisgarh Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel, another state where the party is facing a factional fight between Baghel and T.S. Singh battling for the Chief Minister's chair. While like Rajasthan, no change of guard is planned in Chhattisgarh for now, Sonia Gandhi's meeting with leaders of both Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh is seen as a message down the line that she is a full-time hands-on party president. With Arvind Gunashekhar, Usama Shah for NDTV.
Welcome back to the latest in Tamil Nadu now. Rains in the state have subsided as the depression over the Bay of Bengal weakened, but much damage has already been done. Sam Daniel reports.
Over a few hundred kilometers of road used as busy bus route battered in the more than 50 centimeters of rains that pounded the city over the last week. Authorities have begun assessment even as patchwork has begun.
The half of the roads are fine, half of the roads are fully damaged by water. No, I haven't started riding the bikes. My dad says that it's not safe.
The Velayudans have had no electricity at their home for the second day. Their neighborhood in the low-lying Ramnagar is inundated. Working from home, Gayatri, an e-publisher, is missing deadlines.
Due to the lack of electricity, I am unable to do my work and continue my work. We have informed our client regarding this scenario.
Most closed roads are now open for traffic. However, schools and colleges remain shut for the 5th day. The city has lost close to 500 trees. Farmers in the Delta region have suffered huge crop losses. Chief Minister M.K. Stalin has constituted a ministers' panel to assess the damage, after which the rain-battered state will seek central assistance. In Chennai with Suresh, Sam Daniel, for NDTV.
Now, retail inflation rose 4.48% in October 2021 from 4.35% in September, mainly due to higher fuel and edible oil prices. That's what government data showed on Friday. The highest inflation is seen in edible oil at 33.5%, fuel inflation at 14.4%, and food inflation at 1.82%. Meanwhile, September industrial production dropped to 3.1% versus 11.86% in August. Manufacturing of electronics, transport equipment contracted. Manufacturing of transport equipment stood at minus 18.5%. Manufacturing of electronics was at minus 2.5%. In some of the news, under pressure from the passengers over the hike in fares, the railways on Friday issued an order to discontinue the special tag for mail and express trains and revert to pre-pandemic ticket prices with immediate effect. In a letter to the zonal railways on Friday, the railway board said that trains will now be operated with their regular numbers and fares will revert to normal pre-COVID prices. Ticket prices of special trains and holiday special trains are marginally higher. Covaxin, developed by the government's medical research agency and Bharat Biotech, has been found to have a 77.8% efficacy rate against symptomatic COVID-19 in a long-awaited analysis published in The Lancet. Uma Sudhir reports.
Validation has come from the prestigious Lancet magazine for the confidence Prime Minister Narendra Modi personally reposed in India's first indigenously developed and produced COVID-19 vaccine. Safety and efficacy analysis data from phase 3 clinical trials of Covaxin has demonstrated for the first time for any COVID vaccine over 65% protection against Delta variant, which is the predominant global variant of concern. India's largest ever clinical trial study involving 25,800 volunteers across 25 sites in India found Covaxin to be over 77% effective against symptomatic COVID and over 93% effective against severe symptomatic COVID. What is significant is that efficacy data demonstrates 63% protection against asymptomatic COVID, which experts say could help decrease transmissibility of the virus and bring about reduction in new severe cases. Dr. Krishna Ella, CMD of Bharat Biotech, said the data from our product development and clinical trials have been published in over 10 peer-reviewed journals, making Covaxin one of the most highly published COVID-19 vaccines in the world. The Indian Council of Medical Research, that along with the National Institute of Virology, partnered with Hyderabad-based Bharat Biotech, says Covaxin is now a global frontrunner among COVID-19 vaccines. ICMR Chief Dr. Balram Bhargava has said the bench-to-bedside journey of Covaxin in less than 10 months showcases the immense strength of Atmanirbhar Bharat along with the Indian academia and industry in fighting against the odds and carving a niche in the global community.
It is very encouraging to see the phase 3 efficacy data of Covaxin trial being published in Lancet. As a pediatricians, we are eagerly awaiting the results of the trial conducted in children between ages of 2 to 18-year-old so that we can know when to safely start vaccinating children.
Less than 10 days ago, the World Health Organization granted emergency use listing to Covaxin. It is currently being evaluated for use in children between 2 and 18. Bharat Biotech, that has made and supplied more than 150 million doses, hopes to annually make 1 billion doses by the year end. There was a time when several questions were raised about the indigenous Covaxin, but now, with over 93% efficacy in the severely symptomatic category, demonstrated protection in the case of the Delta variant and also in asymptomatic cases, and most importantly the safety data, Covaxin would hope to silence critics. Uma Sudhir, NDTV.
Well, that's a wrap on this bulletin from the entire team. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.